Hello and welcome back to T-Moe's World and to Season 4 of iRacing in 2025. And today we are at the Red Bull Ring with a GT3 Challenge Fixed series by Fanatec. And these are my first ever races on this track, so let's see how that works out. I will give you only a brief summary of race 1. This is my warm-up race. I qualified for position 15 and my average lap times were really not competitive here. I was about a second slower than the rest of the field, most of the times at least. But we'll see. Here we go. And already one poor fellow is gone. But next is a really sharp corner. Let's see how I can get through this. Not sure how I made it without any contact through this incident. But anyways, lap 1, so far so good. In lap 3, one driver ahead of me made a mistake in that very tricky corner, so one position gained. Then in lap 4, another incident in front of me that distracted me such that the car behind me was able to overtake me. Two other cars were close behind, and later that lap the guy behind me made an attempt to overtake me. And he succeeded. And a few turns later, also the other driver passed me. So I lost another position in lap 10. As I said, I didn't have the pace yet, at least. And again, another driver with a pink car already waiting to overtake me. So here it happened. And even another driver overtaking me also. And let me show you why that was the case. It was because I was distracted because of another unexpected 4X that I got right here as the driver touched the back of my car very slightly. Again, from another perspective, really barely a touch here, and I got a 4X from that. Nothing really has happened. No spins, nothing. And really, again, that pisses me off. Why is it that the algorithm in iRacing seems not to recognize when an incident is worth the 4X or not? Meanwhile, jumping ahead to the last lap, you can see a driver again in front of me had an incident, so I gained one more position. And that guy lost his front bumper. But anyways, he crossed the start-finish line in front of me, and that was perfectly okay. So much for the first race. Let's see if the second is a bit better. So at least race 1 didn't cost me any safety rating, only a little bit of iRating. Now on to race 2. I did this actually 2 days later. To be honest, after I had some drinks at a party at 1 AM. Let's see if that makes any difference. And please don't drink and drive in the real world, and also you shouldn't do it in sim racing. With the safety car gone, let's go. That was a pretty decent start, and as you can see, I qualified for position 11, which I could hold at the start and which was already better than the last race. Really an uneventful lap 1. I'm quite satisfied with that first lap. Not sure why I'm now on position 10 instead of 11, but I'll take it anyway. As you can see, the field is still quite dense on lap 2, but let's see how long it will remain that way. Meanwhile, let's see what happens at the top of the field. And with that I gained 2 positions and I am now on position 8. Nothing really changed or happened for the next 6 minutes, so now we are in lap 6. I have one driver about a second behind me, and then I almost lost control of the car. Let's take a look at this again from the cockpit perspective, and you see already in this turn I almost lost it, and then again in the next turn, and I can say I'm so lucky and happy that I managed to keep the car alive and on track here, only got an off track. And of course Leo, who was behind me, passed me, and so does Vinicius Petrovski in the green car, and Gustavo, and even Jesse, whom I made almost contact with because I didn't recognize he was also next to me. So my pace this race was a little bit better, but I think in this situation all I could hope for was that the drivers in front of me make some mistakes and maybe I can win one or the other position back. Okay, so as that situation seems to have settled in quite a bit, let's jump forward a bit. 5 laps into lap 12. Not much has changed other than I gained 2 positions, but only because drivers somewhere in front of me crashed their car. The drivers in front of me are still fighting for their positions. Let's take a closer look. Clearly that battle for positions has slowed them down significantly, so that now 4 drivers are within 2 seconds of each other. So the driver Vinicius in the green car will clearly feel the pressure sooner rather than later. Okay, in this corner, Vinicius lost significant amount of time and one position. And now I'm also close behind, and let's see what happens next. So far so good, and now we are driving next to each other. But I have the inside line on the next corner, so if I make no mistake here, I will win this fight. And now Vinicius has another problem, and that is the driver in the white car. They have a great fight going on, and let's take a closer look. The guy in the white car wins this fight for now, but here they have contact and the white car spins out. I'm really not sure who's at fault here. Maybe this is just an incident. If you have an opinion on that, feel free to comment. One more lap to go with drivers nearly 2 seconds in front of me and behind me. So if I make no mistake, I should keep this position until the finish line. And so I did and finished on 9th position. I had started on 11th position and only 2 racing incidents, 2 off tracks here. And I was quite happy with the result, so let's take a look on the numbers. Gained a little bit of safety rating and some I rating. So I'm quite happy with the result and getting more and more comfortable with the Porsche 992. And if you also like this video, please give a like and consider subscribing. Have a nice weekend and see you next week in Le Mans. Bye bye.